Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's episode, we're going to be checking out this boxed copy of SUSE Linux 7.0 Personal that I picked up from the wonderful people over at Free Geek Twin Cities a while back. And to be totally honest, this right here is one of those distros that I just don't have a whole lot of experience with. I never really used SUSE, aside from, if you guys remember the SUSE Studio project from back in like the late 2000s, or at least that's around the time that I was using it, where you could make your own Linux distro by just modifying what packages came pre-installed with OpenSUSE. I mean, you could do a couple of other things, and it was kind of neat for what it was, but yeah, that's the only, real experience that I have with SUSE Linux. But long before OpenSUSE was a thing, you just had regular old SUSE, and this is version 7.0 from 2000. And you can see this copy was purchased for $29.99 at Best Buy at some point, but there was also apparently a $10 mail-in rebate inside that you could get to bring this cost down to 20 bucks, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, the box of course just, talks a little bit about the operating system and some of the features it has. This uses KDE as a desktop environment, so this will look pretty familiar to, we have taken a look at some other older distros that use KDE. And right here it says you can get this up and running on your system within 20 minutes. Assuming everything works, of course, which, this channel doesn't really have a great track record for that happening. But yeah, on the back here, you've got, some more features and a couple more blurbs and stuff. And on the bottom, you have your system requirements. And we should be totally fine with the specs we've got in the 98 PC. I mean, we've got a Pentium 3. We've got probably too much RAM, actually. We're going to be using a 4 gig CF card. The video card will be interested to see how it handles that, because the card in the system is newer than this operating system. So it's not going to have the right driver already built in, but it might load some generic NVIDIA driver, or we could just use the integrated Intel graphics as well. But let's go ahead and just crack this open, because I believe there are some pretty cool goodies inside, so we'll have to check those out. Oh, and also on the side here, there is a comparison chart to compare the personal version and the professional one. So you did get some more stuff with the professional version, obviously. But we'll go ahead and set the outer sleeve aside, and we'll open this up. And so it looks like I've opened it up backwards, actually. Let's go ahead and flip that around. That's a lot more like it. So we've got two diskettes here, a boot floppy and a modules floppy. We've got the installation media itself, which I believe, according to the box, is on 3 separate CDs. So I don't know if we have to use all of those, but yep, there they are. So we'll set those aside. We've got some stickers here. Check that out. That's pretty cool. I've never seen these before. So yeah, I don't know if I'll end up using these, because, this is one of those things that's like, do I want to take the stickers off of here or leave them on here? I mean, they are stickers. They're meant to be put on stuff, right? We might as well use them. And then we have this really cool Tux pin right here, if the camera wants to focus in on it. So it says SUSE down there on his foot. And yeah, it's just a little pin, so that's a nice little additional thing. We have the configuration booklet here, which is, well, more like a book. I mean, this is close to 200 pages, yeah. So yeah, may have to refer back to this, we'll see. We've got the applications booklet here. So in here we've got StarOffice, we've got Adobe Acrobat Reader, Netscape, KSCD, the CD player, the GIMP, of course. So yeah, this just basically goes through all the applications that come pre-installed with this, which we do have a fair amount. We'll obviously see all of these once we get the operating system installed. Right here we have a little pamphlet that says, "Thank you for choosing SUSE Linux." So it's a little bit of a thank you from them. And this looks like the registration card, I think. Yep, registration form. And oh my gosh, you could buy some merchandise. I always loved when these companies did this. So yeah, you've got a Tux plushie, you have the SUSE Chameleon plushie. There was also an inflatable Linux penguin, that's this guy down here. You had a t-shirt and a baseball cap. I really wish that, man, this stuff is so freaking cool. And then inside here, you've got a list of other SUSE Linux products. So you've got the personal edition, which we have. You have the professional one. You have an update subscription you could get. And you have oh, there's a PowerPC version as well. That's super cool. Right here, we have your exemption from liability legalese thing, just saying that, this software doesn't come with any warranty. And right here, last but not least, is the quick install manual, which we very well may refer back to during the installation process. But I imagine, I mean, the software, it's pretty graphical, the install process, so it should be pretty self-explanatory. But, you know, if I have questions, this thing might have the answers. So we'll go ahead and cut right to the chase, pop over the 98 PC, and we'll get this thing installed. Alright, so I actually immediately referred back to this manual because I wanted to find out if the CD was bootable, which it turns out it is. So you don't need this floppy diskette necessarily, just if, you know, your system is unable to boot from the CD. So we're just going to pop in disk number 1 here, and I'm just going to shut down the system because I have to swap out the CF card that I currently have in it. And we'll power it back on. I honestly forget what's on this CF card. It might be completely blank. It might have, you know, it probably has like a fat partition on it. But we're just going to see if the system can boot off of the CD. And there it is. Have a lot of fun, it says. I sure hope that we do. So it looks like it detected the hard drive, which is great. Now let's see if it detects everything else. And here we are at the graphical installer. So we're just going to click on our language and hit next. And we've got, you know, your keyboard layout configuration here. So we're just going to go with the default. Actually, we'll change the time zone to US Eastern. And this is going to be a new installation. We'll choose our hard disk. And yeah, we're just going to use the entire disk. And okay, so we're definitely going to, let's just see the detailed selection here. So, okay, you have a category selector. So you see we have both GNOME and KDE on here. And then you've got commercial software and select single packages. So this is where you could, if you wanted to go in and just, you know, get rid of specific packages that you don't want. But we're just going to cancel out of that. What is the commercial software? Let's see what this is. So yeah, you have like some additional stuff, virtual PC for Linux. You got StarOffice in here. And yeah, like for VMware here, it says to be able to use this product, you need a license key. You can get it for free on the World Wide Web. Oh, and you have a demo version of Alien Crossfire on here. So yeah, I mean, some of this stuff was free to use. Some of it, you know, you had to pay for, or in this case, it's like a demo version. But yeah, we'll just check all of these categories here. Apparently, we do have some conflictions here. We'll just say no installation. GNOME, all of KDE, KDE2, multimedia, network server, install available sources. Okay, so obviously it did not detect an operating system on the disk, so it's going to install Linux Loader, it looks like, on the boot sector of the first hard disk. That's fine. We'll hit next. Now we get to personalize it and add our name and everything, so we'll just do Michael MJD. We'll just do, what is suggestion? Let's see if it just probably grabs Michael, I would imagine. Mick MJD. Oh, it's going to just, you know, take the first 3 letters from each. Okay, we'll just do MJD. Actually, we'll do Michael, because we got to do MJD as our super secure password here. So we'll put that in, hit next. Must be at least 5 characters. All right. MJD, MJD. That works for me. All right, root password. And here's your summary of what it's going to do. We're just going to hit next. We got a warning, which just looks like another confirmation screen. So it just says to commit the installation and all choices made so far, choose yes, choose no to go back. We're going to choose yes. And we are off to the races. So we're just going to let it do its thing, and I'll be back with you guys once it's done. Alright, well, looks like the installation has completed. It's asking us to remove the disk from the drive. Now, notably, I've only used disk 1. We still have the other 2 in here, so we'll see if maybe once we boot into the system, you know, we can install some more software from that. But we're going to pop out disk 1, and we'll hit OK here to reboot the system. Well, look at that. Here's where it asks for CD2. So it looks like, okay, it still has to install some stuff. We're not completely done with the installation because it looks like now it's installing the software packages, or at least continue doing it, because it did just like, yeah, you see, we already have 516 packages processed. So some of these were on disk 1. Now we're just picking up where we left off. Though you can see that we've loaded a different graphics driver because the colors up here do not show up properly. So we'll have to, you know, configure those settings when we get the ability to do so. But for now, we just have to do some more waiting around. And now it's time for disk 3. So let's see, we are currently, we have 666 packages processed. We're at 57%. And so, yeah, it's just going to continue on. And, yeah, it's installing. You see, up here is the total. So, 1,151. So, yeah, I mean, we are over halfway. So, that's good. But we'll just wait around some more and wait for something to happen. Alright, so it looks like we've finished copying packages. And now we have to configure the monitor. I'm going to actually just do an auto adjust on here because the screen was a little bit off there. And this is a Dell monitor, but this is the only model number that is in here. And this, a lot of people ask me what the model number is. It's an SE177FP. So we're not going to select that. I mean, we could just go, because this is not for the graphics driver. This is just for, you know, the monitor. But under LCD here, there is this Dell 1400 by 1050 at 70 Hz, but we also just have SVGA 800 by 600 at 60 Hz, which we're going to go with that because, I mean, I usually set the resolution to 800 by 600 in these videos, so we'll just do that for now. Alright, and resolution 800 by 600. Colors, let's see if we can go up to 32-bit color here. I'll be kind of surprised if that works. And, well, the colors are still exactly the same up here, so I'm guessing it didn't really apply properly, but it still shows it as the option there. Please test your selected video mode for... We just did. Alright, well, it apparently doesn't like that. Let's try 24. Alright, same thing. Please test your selected video mode. Alright, we'll go down to 16. Alright, well, I have a feeling this isn't gonna work. Yeah, it keeps wanting us to test it. I mean, I don't know why it's not letting you, like, we tested it. Why is it not letting you do next? Do we have to check no X11 configuration? I guess we can do that, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to go in and mess with the display settings once we get the system installed, because I would like to see if we can get some driver loaded that allows us to, you know, get the best color that we can get here. But it's finishing the installation right now. It says normally it's like a couple of minutes. SUSE config has to initialize your SUSE Linux system. Depending on the CPU and the amount of memory, this process could take some time, so we'll give it some time. Alright, next up, we've got some more configuration to do. So printer we don't have to worry about. Sound, it looks to have detected the built-in sound card on the motherboard. And then we have internet and network. So under network, it's found, we do have 2 network cards in here. I know I've said that in like every video, but we have the built-in one as well as a dedicated Ethernet card. And then we also have internet, and it says no modem or ISDN card detected. So we do have a modem. It has apparently not detected that. It tells us to turn the modem on, which, I mean, we don't have like an external modem to turn on, so it's not going to be able to detect that. But, you know, we're not going to be using dial-up. We should just be able to use these adapters here, one of them anyway. So let's see, or maybe this is, okay, so this is all just one card then. Okay, so this is the 3COM. This, I believe, is the external one. So it'll be configured for internet access. We'll do DHCP. The network device is now configured and ready to use. That's awesome. Okay, so if this actually works, and we can get this thing online, that would be really, really neat. Let's go to configure sound here. Okay, so we can adjust the volume. Let's test it. Let me turn the speakers up a little bit here. Oh yeah, look at that. Or listen to that, rather. So, we've got sound working. Yes, we will save that. Awesome. Sound card is successfully configured. Alright, so that's everything here. We'll finish installation. Your system's now installed. You may log in as Michael. Alright. So we should, I guess, just do start X. Or I guess not. Okay, well, it sounds like the reason why we're not getting the graphical login screen is because I chose no X11 configuration in the, you know, when we were configuring the monitor. So, we have to, I guess, get back to, yeah, that's what I think this is saying here. There's no link. Please link the files mentioned above or install the X server and run xf86 config again. Okay, so let's run xf86 config. Okay, it'll create a basic xf86 config file. Alright, press enter. Okay, so now we have to just do everything from the command line, I guess. So, okay, mouse protocol. We'll do Microsoft compatible. You've selected a Microsoft protocol mouse if your mouse was made by Logitech. It wasn't. Okay, so here's the monitor settings. Now, can we just go with option 2, Super VGA 800 by 600 at 56 Hz? Yeah, let's just do that. You must indicate the vertical sync range of your monitor. So this monitor can do up to 75 Hz, I believe. So we're just going to do number 1, 50 to 70. And, I mean, this signal is split between 2 monitors. I mean, because we've got, you know, it just wired directly up to my capture system. But, you know, 50 to 70 Hz should be fine. And what is this? You must now enter a few identification/description strings, namely an identifier, a vendor name, and a model name. Just pressing enter will fill in default names. We're just going to do default names. Okay, now we must configure video card specific settings. At this point, you can choose to make a selection out of a database of video card definitions. Do you want to look at the card database? Sure. Warning, server specification missing in card database. Entry Trident TGUI. Sure. Well, apparently this is rather common here. But okay, so all those like Trident ones, which we don't even have a Trident card in here. Now the thing is, like I said, this video card is newer than the operating system, so there's no way it's going to show up in here. But I want to see, okay, there's nothing NVIDIA on this list. We can press enter for the next page. So this is all like, okay, it's just like alphabetical. So this is all ATI stuff. We're going to have to go down a ways here. But I just want to see if there's like just a generic, you know, driver, which, I mean, there might not be, but like I said, we could just use the internal video card, which is just an Intel, you know, integrated graphics, or we could just do generic VGA compatible, which is 285. So let me keep a note of that. But let's just continue going down here. So there's some Intel stuff there, or one Intel 5430. Let's see if there's anything for NVIDIA, which it doesn't look like it. Alright, let's just try the VGA compatible and see what that does for us. So we'll press enter. So it looks like option number 5 here, the server it pulls from the card definition is XF86 VGA 16, which is option 2 there, which is a 16 color VGA server that should work on any VGA compatible card. But there's also the XF86 SVGA server, which is 256 color, which I would like to get this to, you know, a higher color mode than 16 color. But we're just going to play it safe for now and do option 5. Alright, well, we just started the X server. But yeah, oh wait, there we go. Okay, it's just the mouse is being like super wonky. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, so we might have to go back and change the mouse. Oh my god, what is going on? This is insane. Oh, actually, yeah, I think I chose the, because this is 2-button protocol. Yeah, it's a PS2 mouse, not, you know, a 2-button protocol mouse. I just didn't really read this far down the list, so that's on me. But yeah, so we'll do option 4. So, that's all been changed. Let's try to start X again. Well, you know, this, like, works, but, you know, the resolution here is, I mean, we can't actually see the entire screen on the screen at the same time. We gotta, like, move around. And also, you see the color mode. Like, we're running at this lower color mode, which is just not great. So, we're gonna log out of the session here. I'm gonna try to go through the configuration again. I might try to swap out the video card in here because I saw, if we do XF86 config again, yeah, there's all these S3 drivers here, and I do have, let me just go and grab the card and see what it is. I think it's an S3 Verge. Yeah, it's an X3 Verge DX, which that's option 471 there. Of course it is, it just says generic, but we're just gonna try that. Well, after a little bit of troubleshooting, I was able to get this system running at 800 by 600 at the highest possible color mode that this graphics card supports, and you can see the icons here show up on the desktop beautifully. Everything looks great, and yeah, we're logged into my user account now. The reason why we had that like red desktop background before is because we were logged in as root, and that's just to let you know that you're logged in as root. So yeah, this thing came up, the SUSE Linux Tour, or at least there's a tour button on here that we're going to click on to see, well, maybe not, because, well, apparently I couldn't find the HTML files. That's certainly interesting. Can we go back here? Show menu bar. Can we, yeah, go. Oh no, the system, oh no, the system just locked up. No way. What the heck? Well, I guess we're gonna have to do a forced restart here. Well, let's hope that that doesn't happen again. But we're gonna start XD, you know, just start X. And yeah, here is that SUSE tour again. So, let's click on this. And there we go. Now it actually navigates to where it's supposed to go. So it says, here we present you with a small selection of programs. And they do mean small selection because since we got everything, all the packages, we have just an absolute ton of stuff on here that would make this video like a few hours long if I were to go through all of this stuff. So we're going to kind of just go through, you know, a few things, and I think the The system actually just locked up again. Are you kidding me? Alright, third time's the charm, maybe. Like, I had this system sitting on the desktop for like 30 minutes. I had stepped away to go and do some other stuff. And, like, you know, I came back to it and it was fine. So, I don't know why all of a sudden now it's like, I guess that I'm using it and, like, interacting with it. It's not liking something. It could be the video mode that we're running, because I mean I initially had to you know, configure the video mode to what I have it set to now. I had to go into this SAX application here and, you know, go into that, and it was all done through a GUI. So, you know, it didn't freeze up or do anything while that was going on, and you know, I was in that application for at least like 10 minutes messing around with different, you know, video modes and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's just try to use it a little bit more here and see if it, you know, locks up again. And if it does, we'll try to maybe change the video mode, see if that does something. But as I was saying, there are a ton of applications in here, and we're not going to be able to get to all of them, but we will, you know, go into each of these categories and take a look. I mean, I will probably spend most of the time on the games, because I always like taking a look at the pre-installed games on systems like this. But I also want to see if this thing, I mean, it did detect our network card, and see if we can get this thing online and, you know, go to the old net, try out ProtoWeb, and, you know, see how all that works. But in the tour here, maybe it's the tour that's causing all these problems, I don't know. You can see here it just gives you a list of a selection of applications. So you have like Minesweeper, and it tells you about Minesweeper. We've got, what else here? Vim, you've got Netscape Communicator, which of course they have on here. So there you go. I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm thinking like this is going to freeze up at any moment, isn't it? But we seem, you know, I don't want to jinx it and say it seems to be doing really well, and then it's going to immediately freeze up like right after I finish saying it. But yeah, so, you know, you got GIMP on here. I mean, it's going to tell you a little bit about each of these programs and tell you, you know, what you can do with them. You got some help documentation up here, and then this is the welcome thing again. So yeah, we'll just get out of that. And since Netscape's on the desktop, why don't we start with that? We'll see if this has just detected our network card, and which we know it has, but we'll see if it's able to get online. So we'll agree to the license terms, and here we go. This is version 4.7.3. Naturally, the copyright date there ends in 2000 because, you know, that's when the system came out. And it looks like we actually have a localhost page here. So, you know, it is in German as well as English. We got this lovely dancing animated file format over here that I'll avoid pronouncing. But yeah, so this is where you can get to documentation. Now let's see, can we go to Netscape and the server cannot communicate securely because they have no common encryption algorithms. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're not online. It probably means we are, but it just can't. Oh my gosh, like what's going on with the, we like pushed the window up so we can't grab the menu bar there. But yeah, this might just mean that, you know, because this is HTTPS and we're trying to connect to it, it's just failing to do so. But let's, I'm trying to see if I can, like, let's do maximize. There we go. So now we can actually see the whole window. Let's try to just go to the old net. Look at that. So we are online. That is awesome. So yeah, this is just one of those requirements. I mean, I always have to go to the old net in every single one of these videos because it's such a cool website. So, but what's also a cool website is ProtoWeb, and we're going to go into preferences here. And, you know, since we have, like, on that localhost page, we've got all those links to the SUSE website and stuff. We're going to try to just go in here under, I believe it's advanced proxies. We're going to do a manual proxy configuration. And we're going to set all this to wayback.protoweb.org, and the port is 7851. So we'll hit OK. That has been configured, so we'll save that. And now if we go back to localhost, which is going to try to route through ProtoWeb, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we can also just try to go to SUSE.com, which apparently is a website they have not restored yet. So it just gives us the option to go through the Wayback Machine, which we will do. So we'll set that to 2000 and go. And it looks like at this point, SUSE Linux 6.4 was on sale in the US. This snapshot's actually before 7.0 came out. So yeah, this is where you could order it. Let's try to order on CD-ROM. Yeah, why not? It's going to go through Digital River, and it looks like it just crashed. So, okay, let's try to open that up again. And it's trying to go to localhost immediately. But yeah, by the way, ProtoWeb does, if you guys didn't see my video on ProtoWeb, this, it actually simulates a T1 connection speed, at least on the port that I've got it set to here. Or you could do 56K on a different port. Either way, it's slower, much slower than my actual internet connection speed is, so that's why these pages take a little while to load in. But yeah, let's try to go to SUSE.co.uk. Just curious to see. I have a feeling they're not going to have this or the German one. We'll do SUSE.de. And yeah, they don't have that one restored either. But, you know, we can go in here and go to 2000 and grab a snapshot from the Wayback Machine. But yeah, if you guys have not seen my full video on ProtoWeb, definitely go check it out, because this is one of my favorite, like, vintage computing preservation projects that I've seen. It is really, really cool. So yeah, we'll just close out of Netscape. So, you know, you got Netscape on here. Now, StarOffice, it's got this question mark. Is that the icon for StarOffice? Or, oh, and look at that, I think... Oh, wait a second. Oh, the system is kind of slowing down here. I thought it just locked up, but... Oh, this is a script. Oh, yeah, this is... Okay, so it's not even installed yet. So, yeah, we have to go through the installation. And do we have to put this stuff in? No, we don't. And we're going to do... So, it looks like the standard workstation installation is carried out so the programs can be started directly from the network. Or you can do the local install to where it just installs it locally to the workstation. This is what we're going to do. So, we'll select that. There's where it's going to install to. Yes, we'll create it, and we'll complete. And, okay, at least one compatible Java runtime environment was found, which can be used. All right. Sounds good to me. And here we go. So, yeah, we're going to see, because I'm going to look this up. I don't know if StarOffice was something you had to pay for. Well, Sun Microsystems acquired it in 1999. They released the source code the following year as a free and open source office suite called openoffice.org, which subsequent versions of StarOffice were based on. This is just directly from the Wikipedia page, by the way. And it has finished installing, so we'll hit OK there, and we will complete. So, can we just double click on this again, or is that just going to run the installer once more? It's probably just going to run the installer again. Oh no, there it is. It's starting up. So, initializing the StarOffice components for the first time after installation. Welcome to StarOffice. Every time you start StarOffice, the help agent will display some tips. Okay, they contain useful information. Sure. And yeah, we'll just make a new text document. And here it is. And yeah, we can, you know, we can type. And let's just go to help and about here. I mean, there is this registration thing. So, yeah, Sun Microsystems. Commercial software. Because it sounds like that this version of StarOffice was free. I found this CNET article from May 15th, 2002 that's a review of StarOffice 6.0, and it begins with, "The free ride has officially ended. In the past, Sun Microsystems distributed StarOffice, its fully fledged office suite, for nothing, but StarOffice 6.0 will cost you $79.95, which was very small compared to Office XP costing $350 to $400. Oh, there's a start button down here too? Look at that. Oh, it's got like a taskbar. That's really cool. This is like a whole desktop environment of sorts. That's pretty neat. Yeah, this is like a shell. Really, you can just open. Yeah, this is like a run command. Like under settings here, this is a KDE Control Center. You can just open that right from here. That's really cool. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I have not used StarOffice before, and this video is not about it, and that's why that like I'm kind of looking stuff up on the fly. You know, if this video was about StarOffice, I would have like done all this research beforehand and like written out a whole thing. But you know, I very well could make a video on StarOffice because this is really intriguing to me. I mean, just the fact like that, you know, it's got this like shell interface here. That is pretty cool. Well. It's kind of it's kind of frozen up here. Well, oh, now the entire system might have locked up again, because yeah. So yeah, anything else on the desktop? We've got, you know, shortcuts to CD-ROM, which I mean we don't have anything. There's nothing to mount because there's no disk in there. We got a floppy shortcut here as well. We've got. Let's go into the K menu here, or whatever it's called. So what do we got under applications? We've got, you know, a few things. Nothing really stands out to me in particular as like, ooh, like I want to check this out. Under games, though, we do have an absolute ton of stuff here as well. There's even more, like, it all doesn't even fit in this list. So here's SmileTrist. We have taken a look at this before in some other Linux distros. It shows up every so often, it seems, on this channel. Or maybe it's only shown up once, but either way. This is one of those versions where you can't, you know, slowly move the block down line by line. And, oh yeah, we got sound working. Which is always nice. So we'll kind of just make this here. And, you know, you actually have to, like, match these, you know, to where, to where they're actually gonna, because there's, like, two different faces, you know. So, like, that's almost gonna get rid of those. There we go. We're making some progress. But yeah, this is it's a little bit of a twist on Tetris because you're not just trying to get lines, you're trying to, you know, match up these faces. So, you know, pretty self-explanatory game for sure. So, we'll get out of that. What else? What else do we got? Games. I still think it's really funny how not everything shows up in here. We got Reversi. We have a Rubik's Cube. We have a little board game called Same Game. We've got Sokoban with what looks like a piece of redstone as the icon there. Let's go in here and drag this window. Is there a maximize option? There's not. That's only mildly annoying, but we can just do that. And yeah, Sokoban, I feel like I mention a lot on this channel. But let's see, how do I do this here? Did I just screw it up? I think I did, because yeah, I just screwed this up. Let's try it again, restart level. Because you have to push this one here and get this one over here like that. Go up, and see, the problem is, wait, how did I do this last time? Because this is like the same exact layout for one of the other Sokoban clones that I've done before. I think you have to start. I think you have to start by doing that. Yeah. That's what you have to do. It's slowly coming back to me. So we'll do that. Go over here. Push this guy down. And do one of those, and then yeah, now we can go here, down, over. Does it keep track of your moves? It might have a move counter, like, well, we can't really move the window around now because we have the title bar under the taskbar, although we might be able to. Can we hide the taskbar? Not by right-clicking on it there. Let's see, options. This is this a part of the K panel? Yeah, auto hide taskbar and auto hide panel. So now those will both auto hide. So there we go. So we'll just let that auto hide again, but we'll push this one down. And then this one is mildly annoying because you have to do that. Go all the way down under here, push it, go down over here, and push it in there. And there we go, level completed. Let's see if we can grab this without, there we go. So is there, can we shrink this? No, I can't do that. That's not going to help us out. It actually doesn't look like there is a move counter. That's interesting. Unless it's like, I don't really think we can see the bottom of the window there. It might just be like down here and we can't see it. But yeah, Sokoban, we've seen that many times on this channel. Maybe not many times, but more than I would expect. And Reversi. Reversi. doesn't seem to be starting up there. Let's try that again. Well, that's certainly unfortunate. It shouldn't take that long to start. I mean, like, we can open up K4 here. There it is, right? So that's, you know, like Connect 4. But yeah, can we maybe right-click on Reversi? No. Maybe it just shows up in there, but it's not actually on the system as a game, which would be unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, you got an absolute ton of games. Oh, K-Pac-Man. We have to try that out. Oh wow, is this like MAME? Oh no, I think it is. I think it is a clone. It's a really good clone. Because yeah, you had like a different name down there. But yeah, we have no sound. So this is just like a recreation of the game. This is not like running from a MAME ROM, at least as far as I can tell. But I'm curious about this other, like, let's go in here, Cave Zachman. Oh my gosh, what is this? Yeah, it says it's an implementation of Pac-Man for the KDE desktop. It's based on the source code of K-Snake. So yeah, it's definitely not a, you know, a MAME. It's very close to the original game. That's why I was kind of like, there's like, really? Like they got MAME working on here? That would be pretty cool. Well, what else do we have on here? Under graphics, we've got, I mean, I saw a GIMP. That might be under multimedia. We have a paint program here. So there's that. Definitely giving me some MS Paint vibes. So, you know, we can... Oh, that's a circle. I thought it was like drawings. And where's... Yeah, we go with our spray paint there. No, I don't want to do that. Where's... Is this? Yeah, here we go. So we'll draw... That looks like a bee or like a lopsided heart. We'll just write out MJD. I don't know what I'm doing in these half the time. I'm just like, let's just open up a paint program and draw stuff. Yeah, it's a paint program. What? Oh, it's just from KDE. Okay. So yeah, K-Paint. There you go. What a surprise. Yeah, we'll just close out of that and lose those changes. How unfortunate. But so under internet, interestingly, Netscape does not show up in here. I assume that's just in a separate category. But you've got KICQ, you've got anything else that I recognize in here, KTalk, you've got ticker program, user information, lookup tool. So yeah, definitely some useful stuff in there. Multimedia, so you've got a CD player, you've got a media player. Settings, you just have, you know, customization stuff for changing like your desktop background and stuff. And speaking of, why don't we go in here and change the wallpaper? So we've got a few, oh, and that's interesting. I didn't even realize that this, or where was it? Well, one of the options that was in here, yeah, this one, is just like, we could get rid of this and make that like, we could make this tiled and just make it go across the entire desktop. I was thinking this was all like one image, but we could like change the color to maybe like a blue here, and, you know, then just have this logo in that same position just on top of it. If we do just what is it, bottom left, we apply that, yeah, there you go. I mean, it does look really nice with the purple, but we can change this to be, I mean, a lot of these look like they could just be tiled. Yeah, so that's what you're supposed to do with that. So, but you have a ton of wallpapers in here. I mean, seriously, that is a lot. So you just pick one at random. Absolute 0. Yeah, let's do that. That looks kind of cool, doesn't it? And then, are there any settings for, yeah, like the colors? Like, I want to change around, like, our... It looks like we've got color schemes, too, so we can do BOS. I always love to see BOS representation. Windows 95. So, why don't we set it to BOS? Because that kind of, this yellow kind of goes with the blue, I think. So, yeah, you can have that set up. A lot of customization options in here. Of course, you can, just like in, you know, Windows 95, you can just go through and change, you know, each individual element if you want to. So that's nice. Under System, you've got a Task Manager, KDisk Free. You've got File Manager in Super User Mode, so a shortcut for that. Desktop Pager to manage your windows. So this is just looks like it opens up a larger desktop switcher. So like, you know, this is desktop 4. Let's just, yeah, so see it switched over to 4 there. So that's nice. You can just double click on that if you want to. So we'll just get out, or we can, you know, move it around, or that's just changing the size of it, isn't it? But yeah, we'll just close out of that. Now, SUSE has its own category here, and you've got a bunch of subcategories inside of that. And in here, under communication/internet, is where you've got Netscape Communicator. You also have Links and Conqueror as well. Got some internet tools here, so you got Netscape Messenger in there, plugins, unspecified. Under administration, this is where you can get access to YAST1 or YAST1 is where you can, if you enter in your root password here, this is where you can configure, you know, settings and everything for. This is actually just, oh, yet another setup tool. Okay, that's what that's short for. So this is not the graphical one. I guess that's the second one in there. So we'll close out of that. If we go back in here and go to YAST2 and put in our root password. This will bring up the graphical setup program, which we saw, while we were installing it. And you can go through and configure, your printer, your sound settings, if you wanted to modify these settings. Notably, you cannot modify display settings from in here. You have to go into, you can also just access this. There's these shortcuts down here. So you want to go into SAX. What else do we got? Under personal is where you can get the StarOffice. In the SUSE folder we've got, now I think a lot of these games are, like some of these anyways, were just in, like this, I recognize from the games folder. So, yeah, I mean, you do, like, when you install everything, you have a ton of stuff to go through. I mean, this is just an absolute ton of software that, like I said, we're definitely not going to be able to get to everything in this video. And this video has already gone on for a little while, with the problems we had with the system freezing up and trying to configure the graphical settings so you guys can actually, see everything well. Oh, and also this right here is actually a shortcut to the SUSE menu right here, so you get the same stuff right in here. So this kind of acts as like another menu, which is nice. So SUSE has like modified KDE to their specifications, and they've got their own stuff going on here, which is pretty cool. And I guess we haven't taken a look at the file browser. I guess we could just go into that really quickly here and go back to the home folder, and let's just kind of see what we got going on here. So, yeah, I mean, there it is. This looks like the folder for StarOffice, yeah, 5.2. So you got that. I mean, yeah, it's a file browser. Let's see if we've got, do we have a KFM, which is K File Manager, version 1.167.2.21. So, I think that we're honestly in a pretty good spot. I mean, that is a little look at SUSE Linux 7.0 and getting it installed on the 98 PC. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, maybe consider becoming a patron or a channel member to get early access to these videos before anybody else. But either way, I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.